Titan Z here, back to do another video review. Going to be reviewing my favorite G1 Transformer, Jetfire. Oh yes, I have one. I'm very happy I've got this. Probably the best one. Probably one of the best G1 toys I have, next to all the Headmasters I have, which are 3, and I've already reviewed one. Yes, this is G1 Jetfire. Though in the TV show it was called Skyfire. Bit of an interesting coincidence there. When they were doing the show, when they were making the toys, sometimes they made the toys before the show was on the air. Therefore, characters like Jetfire / Skyfire were a little different. So when Hasbro was working on making the Transformers series, they found one of these toys at a toy fair in China, bought the rights to it, which this is based off the Macross VF1S Super Valkyrie. And so what they did is they bought the toy, slapped it on with some Autobot stickers, and called it theirs. Needless to say, this pissed off their Japanese partner, Tomitari, or Qatar. I can't never pronounce it right half the time. But yeah, and so when the TV show got put up, they were told, you gotta make a different character. You call this Jetfire, you call the character on the show Skyfire, because we're pissed. So, it happened. Yeah, I have the information on the screen right here. I can't remember half of it to save my life. So, anyway, this is his standard vehicle mode. He does have a super. I'm not gonna try to put, I don't have the leg armor, so I'm not gonna try to put on the arm armor in this mode. But basically what you do, you fold down the wings, bring up this bit, bring up the super pack. I put this on backwards, of course, because I'm an idiot. The funs of not having proper video editing technology. Let's see, and there we go. This is super mode. At least this is what I call super mode. It has the 2 turbo jets, so you can fly really fast. Let me try to take these back off carefully. Surprisingly, you can put it on with the turbo, with these on, but taking it off with those on is impossible, because you got to get your fingers underneath some parts. Because when the original mold of this was made back in the 70s, oh come on. The Super Pack was actually built after the toy was designed. So, okay, you continue with the transformation. Go ahead, keep that flipped up. Fold back the wings. Take the legs. Now, I would show you Gearwalk mode, even though it's officially part of the instructions, but I've never liked Gearwalk mode to begin with. I always found it to be butt ugly and somewhat useless. So, do that. I find bringing down this chest piece is really fun, because it always feels like something's going to break on this 25-year-old toy that's based on a, I guess, what, 30, 40-year now mold? Oh man, there's times on here where I think I have completely snapped something off when I transform this thing. I am not kidding you. And there's a lot of die-cast metal on this bad boy too. Oh man, there is so much die-cast here. Sometimes you really think you're going to snap something if you're not careful. Come on, there we go. Word of warning, this bit gets stuck a lot. I don't know why. I've always had trouble getting it to go back without, you know. And there's, if you can, you're not going to probably be able to see that. There's a clip on the back that holds the backpack to the chest, but it keeps everything from moving around. This is him in robot mode. Gun weapon, gun pod, technically, from what this was originally. Unfortunately, you can't hold that in vehicle mode. It just wasn't built that way. Again, this was probably designed before they had the gun in mind. Now, he can hold the gun in one hand, and I do mean just one hand. There's no hole in this. Well, there's a hole in the back of the hand, which I've never understood. But, yeah, here we have the gun. It can only bend so far up. but it is like one of my favorites. I always thought this is so cool when I saw pictures of it, and I never thought this would be a figure I would personally own. And I am so glad I got him. Like I said, I don't have the leg armor, but I do have the armor. And of course, the super pack, which I'll show you his super mode. I'm thoroughly convinced when Transformers creators got their hands on this Japanese toy and saw it had something of a super mode, that's what started the super mode craze for Optimus Prime during other runs of the series, runs of Transformers. Alright. It's always also really difficult to get the pack on his back. The character Jetfire / Skyfire is also a scientist. He knew Starscream just before the final falling out with the Autobots on Cybertron. They were explorers of the universe. They would look for different signs of life and other things around the universe. Well, it just so happened when they actually made a quick stop around Earth, they hit a polar wind, and Skyfire gets pretty much knocked to the North Pole, and stuck there for hundreds of years until the Transformers G1 episode, Fire in the Sky, where he's brought back, stops the Decepticons, stops Starscream, crashes. The Autobots hold a swift memorial service, leave him for an episode, come back, dig him out of the ice, and the two Autobots there tell him, you need to get to Autobot HQ. We need a lift to Peru. Really? You left me in the ice, and the only reason you've dug me out is because you need a lift to Peru. I immediately would have given them the one-finger salute, which I will not do on camera because, one, my parents see these videos once in a while, and I also have nieces and nephews who see these videos once in a while. So, I don't need their parents bugging me about that. Anyway, this is his super mode. Again, without the leg armor, not a big loss. If I could ever get some cheap, I would. But I'd probably have to go to like a BotCon or Transformers convention to find it cheap. He's actually, this figure, for being like, what, 70s, now 40-year-old figure, he's got an incredible range of movement on him. I mean, really nice. And 25 years old, the clicky joints are still great. The fists are supposed to fold down for vehicle mode, but I'm so afraid of them breaking I don't do that. I mean, that's pretty freaking impressive. That's part of Gear Walk mode. God help us all. But yeah, it's impressive how much range of movement this thing has. You can get some pretty interesting poses out of him. If you see this figure, word of warning. Now, when I got this, I got it from my favorite comic book shop here in Louisville, Kentucky, The Great Escape on Bardstown Road. Go check them out. They're awesome. This is actually two different Jetfires kind of Frankenstein together. The guy who runs the Transformers section, the toy section, basically had two broken Jetfires and realized, hey, if I take certain parts off and put them on the other, I'll have one fixed Jetfire. So, yeah. And unfortunately, because he's two different Jetfires, yeah, this is not going to show up on camera. Not with my lighting, probably. Yeah, it's not going to work. He's suffering from the yellowing disease, which is, he's been out in the sun too long, he's got too much sun bleach, and so his white armor is beginning to yellow. And it's only in certain parts like his head and a bit of his chest plate, but the rest of him is actually just fine, so it's not so bad. Again, if you can find this guy, you would not pay more than I would guess, $100 out of box, in fairly good condition, including stickers. I don't know if Repo Labels has a sticker sheet. If they do, I might be going somewhere after this review. Might be placing an order, because a lot of his stickers are getting worn down. It's mostly just the small stuff like that right there. Other than that, of course, mine. I am thoroughly convinced a kid had this before me. There is a nice little old scratch dent. Yeah, you can kind of see it. That little ding in the cockpit. It's on the window. Someone, I don't know what happened. The X-Acto knife or something must have hit this. Maybe. when he was Frankensteining them together, because it is just cut all the way through the plastic. There's a piece just dangling there, but again, I wouldn't pay more than $100 for a complete. That includes leg armor. I did not pay $100 for this. I got this for a cheaper price because it's missing its leg armor and the X-Acto knife cut. But still, this is an awesome figure to own from G1. One of a kind in the series. Definitely one of the coolest figures of all time. And if you can't get this, look for Classics Jetfire. He's almost an exact duplicate, except for leg armor, which his leg armor is kind of just permanently on there, unfortunately. But still, there's almost a perfect copy of the same figure, give or take parts, bits, guns, everything. But this, awesome to own. If you could find him, go ahead and pick him up. He is a cool figure to get. I am not joking. I love this thing. This is part of my centerpiece of collections I have right now. It sits, of course, next to my reissued Starscream, which I will do a review on a later date. And my, right now, my Transformers Prime First Edition Optimus Prime, which I'm going to do a review of that particular figure when I get the Entertainment Pack. Just let you know. So, until then, this is Titan Zed saying I'll see you when you see ya.